That on. We'll get a little bit of video.
Yeah. What's a normal takeoff speed for this aircraft?
She lifts off at about 60 knots. It'll actually come off the ground much sooner than that if I wanted to, if I really needed to. I could give it some a little bit of flaps, and we could lift off at about 45, 47, something like that.
Oh wow, that's nice and slow.
So yeah, that's good for guys who are flying off really short strips and stuff like up in Alaska. Or, you know, some grass strip or something like that. It's handy. But with a 4,000 foot runway, we don't need that. So I don't take off with flaps.
What's the shorter runways you've taken off at?
Me, I think I've used, Wyndham has a north-south runway, which is smaller than their east-west, and I think it's only about 1,800 feet.
Oh wow, that's short.
Not for this airplane. We get off the ground in about 800 or 900 feet. Landing, it would take more. It usually takes more. You can frequently, well, it depends. On someplace where you can stop quickly, like on a grass strip where there's a lot of drag, you can frequently get into a strip that you can't get back out of because you can't accelerate so fast. So it's relatively smooth out today, not too bad. There was just a few bumps on the takeoff there, but
yeah, not too bad. The normal cruising altitude for this thing?
Depends on the clouds. I don't have an IFR clearance, or a ticket, so I can't fly without reference to the ground. So if there's a ceiling, I have to stay below the ceiling. If there's a few clouds, I can climb above the clouds if I avoid them on the way up, and I can get back through, as long as I don't get myself trapped above. But usually, if you're going to go some distance, going up a little higher is more efficient for the airplane.
Yeah. There's a lot less dense up there than it is down there.
Yeah, as the air gets a little less dense, it's a good blend of performance. Yeah, the air is thinner, so the engine may not make full horsepower anymore, but there's less drag. So even right now, we're going about 112, but the true airspeed is actually 118, so we're already getting a little bit of a benefit. We're only at 2,000 feet.
Oh, not bad.
So where do you live?
Manchester.
In Manchester. Oh, you just flew over Manchester.
Yeah, the Pavilions. A lovely complex across the Buckingham Wall.
Yeah.
You're in Manchester as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's 384 there.
Yeah. Is that Coventry Lake?
Possibly, or it might be Bolton. Hard to tell, because it's right at the end of 384.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where 6 starts down there.
Yeah, there's so many trees here. It's kind of nutty.
Yeah, good day for flying today, man.
What's that?
A good day for flying today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tower, Cherokee, Cessna 3566 Sierra, ready to go on 20.
We're still picking up the airport behind us.
Oh, that's the frequency?
Yeah.
20, cleared for takeoff.
6 seconds, Sierra.
Yeah, Brainerd Tower, Cherokee 459er for X-ray. Cherokee 459er X-ray. 459er for X-ray, inbound landing with Oscar.
we'll go over towards the Wyndham.
I gotcha. Huh.
Which is, you can already see the airfield. It's a pretty close airport.
That's smaller than Brainerd or larger?
Smaller. The runway's almost the same length, but there's no tower, less services, and that sort of thing. Until recently, there was no FBO, which is a fixed-based operator, somebody who supplies fuel or avionics service or that kind of stuff. Although I think they're going to get fuel soon.
So just basically a landing strip and that's it. There's nothing else on that runway.
So there's a bunch of hangars and stuff. So that's where people put their airplane. It's a state-owned airport like Brainerd is. I think there's about 7 state-owned airports. Bradley, Oxford, and Waterbury, Wyndham, New Haven, I think, and I forget what other ones.
I figure a landmark. What the hell?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot out this way.
This should be like the Yukon area around here.
Yeah, you can usually pick up Gamble Pavilion.
Yeah.
Somewhere over this way. The dome kind of shape. I think that's the campus over there.
It kind of looks like that, yeah.
But I can't quite make out the pavilion. I think I can see it now, but it's sometimes when the sun is the right direction, it kind of shines off the roof.
Yeah, 'cause those are the 2 water towers on the 195 behind it.
Yep.
Southwest.
You obviously have to put your flight plan in before that, or you just kind of go wherever?
This is just a VFR flight, so we can go wherever we want. The avionics will let me load in a flight plan, and I could have the autopilot take us places. I have used the autopilot a few times, but I haven't really gone anywhere yet because I've been doing all my test flying. So you don't really need a...
I'm glad I can participate in your test flight.
Yeah, you don't really need a autopilot if you're just going like over to Wyndham here or something like that.
Huh.
So usually all I do is just tell it, take me direct someplace. Right now I have direct as Wyndham. So it draws a line on the map and you just follow a line.
Is it preloaded software or do you have to buy that too?
It came with the with the setup, yeah. And then you upload new database about every 30 days or 50 days, something like that. Because there's things like towers and things like that will show up. So if a new tower shows up, you gotta know. You don't want to be running into towers. Do you want to try flying it?
Sure. Can I do that anywhere?
Just put your feet on the pedals. Okay. Although when we're flying straight and level like this, there's really not a lot of input from the rudder required. Some airplanes have a substantial amount of what they call adverse yaw. So when you roll into the act of rolling into it, to the right, actually the left wing creates more drag than the right because it's making more lift. Making lift creates drag. That all the time. But because the left wing has to come up to turn to the right, that wing makes more drag. So the nose wants to swing to the left, even though you're headed, you want to go to the right. So you have to add a little bit of rudder to compensate for that. So airplanes like a Piper Cub, you have to use your feet as you're turning. Otherwise, the airplane goes kind of weird on you.
Oh, wow.
Also, very long wings, like a sailplane. Because you have a longer moment arm, is magnified, so you have to use your feet. This airplane, you just, a slight pressure when you're turning that way, give it a little right. If you turn this way, a little bit of left, and you're good.
Oh, wow.
And everything else is, okay, why don't you grab the control stick, put your feet up on the pedals, and I'll follow along with my feet, but I won't push.
Where we're going?
So we'll just maintain this kind of sight picture out the front, So don't let the nose come up or down, just kind of there. And then if whatever you want to do, if you want to make a turn, just go a gentle turn one way or the other.
The stick or that?
Yeah, no, pull the stick that way, and then just if you're going to go that way, push a little bit with your foot at the same time.
So which side?
So like follow along. Like if I'm going to go this way, that's about all I had to do to get the airplane. Then I've released the pressure, so I'm just kind of neutral, and I'm just letting the plane do its thing. I might have to pull back just a little bit. As we see, we're descending, so I had to pull back a little bit through the turn. And then when I want to roll out, I just push a little pressure on it to the other way, and then let go again.
I got you.
So it's very small movements and almost nothing on the feet.
Okay, so almost nothing on your feet then.
Yeah, not at this speed. When we're coming in for landing, to keep the airplane oriented correctly, you're using the rudder quite a bit more.
Awesome, okay.
So okay, go ahead and...
Just kind of... Okay, I gotcha. Just let it settle.
Yeah. That's about right. It's about a 20-degree bank. You don't want to get too much more than that. That'd be fine.
Right. Yeah, you can probably, it's kind of touchy.
Yeah, this airplane not near as much as some airplanes that are really very light on the controls. So even just thinking about doing something, the airplane's doing it. This is a little heavier. You feel it as you're trying to make it turn. It's like there's a little pressure resisting.
Yeah, yeah.
We can give you. We'll get you the screen so you can see what's going on.
Hey, you don't put any pressure at all. That's surprising. Cool. That's Wyndham?
Yeah, that's Wyndham. I got their frequency up just in case somebody's in the area, but we're well above the pattern. So maybe take us down towards the coast.
Take us that way?
Yep. We'll just roll into the turn.
Over.
You can see Providence off in the distance.
Oh wow, okay. A little bumpy. Turning that way?
Yeah, just keep it.
Oh, okay. Where's the bank degrees you got here?
That little triangle is 0, so that's 10, 20, 30. And the next triangle is 45.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's 10, 8, 10, 5. So a typical turn would be 25-ish or something like that.
25?
Yeah. A standard rate turn, like when you're ever in an airliner and they're making turns, maneuvering, they're using standard rate turns because they're on the autopilot. They're not hand flying it almost ever.
I gotcha. Alright. Towards the coast? Oh, it even has a nice map behind there.
Yep. Yeah, this is synthetic vision. If there was a big mountain off in the distance, it would show a mountain in front of you here.
This is obviously the horizon line. We're
Yep, that's the horizon. So you got it just about perfect. Now we're descending just a little bit, but not much. And when you roll out, it'll probably come up because there's more wing area in effect.
Yep. There it goes. Awesome. Cool. How do you know when the engine's getting like too rich or too lean? You just watch it.
The higher we go, the thinner the air. I don't need all that fuel, so I can throttle. I can ease back on the mixture, and we can burn a lot less gas. Right now we're running. Let's see, where is it on the reduced page? I can't tell when it's on the reduced page. So we're running at about 10 gallons an hour right now.
The fuel efficiency on this is not bad.
Oh, that is. It became a strip. There it is. It's an analog gauge when it's on full screen, but...
Get used to looking at the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. This is obviously New Haven.
That's Groton, straight ahead of us. G-O-N, Groton. And they're another Class D airport, just like Brainerd. So you're you're not supposed to enter their airspace until you have permission. So usually you call them up from some distance out if you're gonna land there, or if you want to just go through their airspace. Say like the clouds are too low and you can't climb above their airspace. You just want to transit. You just tell them like, hey, I want to transit your airspace at 1,800 feet. And they'll let you know.
I guess the distance, but get the word range. There you go. Yep. This one.
I got 50 gallons of fuel, and if I throttle back a little bit and in sort of an economy mode, where we'd be going more like instead of 130 knots, we'd be only doing say 118 or 120. We could probably go about 7 hours.
Oh wow.
6 hours at least. That's longer than my bladder can go, so it's sort of a moot point.
So you can reach some pretty good places around here with this thing. Huh.
Yep.
Awesome.
Now we'll show you what the autopilot can do for a second. I'll engage the autopilot. You can pretty much let go. So what it'll do is it's going to find the most, it'll round off to the nearest 100, so it's probably going to make us descend a little bit till it gets back to 4,000 feet.
Can you get the cables connected to like almost a box somewhere in here for the computer, or?
Well, the computers are back behind the panel here. The actual servos that drive the cables are underneath the seats below us. Okay, so now we're back down to 4,000 feet. It's just going to follow this heading. So now where this little blue symbol is, that's where it's trying to go. Or actually it's shown even here on this diagram here.
I gotcha.
So let's say we want to go over that way. I'll just dial it in. The airplane will roll into a standard rate turn. It'll hold its altitude exactly.
Oh, autopilot.
So that's a standard rate turn, which is I think 2 degrees per second rate of turn.
I was going a little light.
Yeah, the sun is going to be kind of nasty.
Oh wow. You can pretty much set this autopilot to your destination, and
yes.
if only like larger aircraft had these things instead of
Not anymore. It's the capabilities in airplanes